Hey, this is the Make Sense Again American, where everything I say makes absolute sense. Um, I'm gonna do a movie review. A lot of people are doing it, and just no movie critique. I'm just gonna tell you what I think about how art does not imitate life, life does not imitate art, things like that. Just something I was really perceptive about. I uh, I was watching the movie American History X, and everybody's seen the movie. And if you haven't, it's American History X. Don't care if I did a spoiler alert because you should have watched it by now. But a lot of people talk about this movie. In the movie, Ed Norton, who plays a guy that had a lot of heart in doing what he had to do, or he figured there was a cause and he needed to, overdo it. I guess he was very passionate about becoming a Nazi, or he has the swastika tattooed on his chest. He has a lot of rage to give out to the opposite race, I guess, things like that. And this guy here was in jail, and in the end of the movie, or towards the end of the movie, he was unscathed. Nobody bothered him. He said he just sat down and read books. He just sat down and he just stayed to himself, and everybody left him alone. He wanted to get away from that life. So he had no friends on this side and he had no friends on that side. But he stayed to himself successfully. Nobody touched him. That's the lie right there. That's what I wanted to tell you. That's the lie. Do you have any idea how the media works? Okay? If a man were to commit that kind of crime, it'd be all over the news. It would be all over the news. It's like a white guy, a white cop getting hit with drunk driving. They'll have his face on the news for 3 days straight because he's a white cop. He got hit with a DWI. It happened to a friend of mine, actually. That's why I know. They would not get his face off the news for 3 days straight. Now there's bigger fish to fry, but this was back in the 90s. A friend of mine was driving drunk, and all of a sudden he said, man, I had to see my face for 3 days straight, like it was news. That's how the media operates. If this character, Norton, I forgot his name of the movie, but the character Norton plays, if he were to really do that, everybody and their mother would be informed of what he did to that black kid on the curb, on the concrete. Everybody would know. It wouldn't be a mystery. He would not be left alone in his last days of serving time. He would have been, a target from the get-go. And he would need that security blanket. Because if you even say the word, you're all over the media, social and televised. And I guess that's how the community does it. And what I mean by the community, the chosen ones, the bluish community, I call them, the Drewish community, Drew. But they have a knack to want to separate people. Now it sounds like this is the second video I've done about the bluish community, but it's just something that I see. You want to see something weird? Go to YouTube and pull up the old Donahue episodes with the Triple K or the guest Triple K. Whenever they're the guest on Oprah and the guest on Donahue, they got so much to say. They say all kinds of monkey and inferior, the inferior race, things like that. And when they say things like that, it's troublesome because they say nothing about the blues. There's no footage you're going to see about the blues. Michael Jackson did a song, and he says, what did he say? Do me, drew me, just don't chew me, something like that. I don't know the song. All I have to say to a 7-11 thing about love, something like that. I can't remember what all I have to say. Forget it. But in the song, he says the 3-letter word to mark the chosen ones. And they couldn't take him off social media because there was no social media back then. But what they did was they compromised and says, you have to remove that word. So he would say, chew me, chew me, something like that. But you know the song. And you can't say anything about the bluish community, nothing at all. And it's kind of funny now. It's starting to, I'm starting to open my eyes and it's starting to make sense. They're in control and they're making everybody hate one race. They still have you saying that the white man controls everything. They still have you saying that. And they don't. They can't even control their own speech. They can't say anything freely or you will dox them. So, stop being an idiot. Stop letting them separate us. And start looking at who's really on top. Kanye West couldn't say anything. And he said something. And the media's like, do you have something to say? Do you have an apology to make? They want to show that muscle. They want to flex. And they can't. Not with Kanye. Kanye got some money. Kanye's good. And everybody's calling him crazy and an idiot. No, he's not. He's doing his thing. Just wanted you to know that in the movie, Edward Norton curb stomps, I think that's what they call it, a black kid. And nobody knew? Really? Because in real life, everybody would know. He would not be a hero. Everybody would know. There wouldn't even have to be footage. Everybody would know. Yep, that's all I wanted to share with you. Now, my movie critique is what a bullshit movie that was. Because for some reason, who is that guy? Well, he used to do this, but he does that no more. Negative. That guy, he'd be a household name, just like the three guys that dragged James Byrd in a pickup truck. They tied him in the back of a truck, drove the truck, and he just bounced all over the place until he fell to pieces, which is an unfortunate act, an extremely unfortunate act. He was trusting, he was cool with those guys, and those guys, they all got the death penalty. So that's it. And I don't know if it makes any difference, but they got hit with a hate crime. Now everything's a hate crime. But yeah, everybody is. That's why they run when they see a noose. There was a guy racing, NASCAR, racing cars, and he had the rope that pulled down the bay doors, and it was a rope like a noose. 13 FBI agents went there. 13 FBI agents. Who's in charge? Well, that's what they do. They try to ignite every little nothing into the inferior race to be like, we can't walk the streets. We have to be scared of white supremacy. White supremacy is not there, bro. That is a figment of your imagination. But what is in plain sight, that's why they don't want you to see it. They don't want you to see it. They don't want you to mention it. They don't want you to talk about it. The bluish community is running everything. They're only controlling your minds, by the way. They can't control anything that you say or do. Or maybe they can, right? But they're controlling your mind. And I just wanted you to know that. And Ye had pointed out everything they own. Disney, ABC, CBS, ESPN. I mean, they run camp when it comes to entertainment. Just imagine, though, if you could say something, but you can't. There's not even any footage of any Triple K members insulting that community. But there's a lot of footage of them insulting black folks. Put that at, take what you got and, mix it up in your head. Does this make sense to an American? Yeah, well, all I wanted to do is make sense about the whole part, how the bluish community would definitely make sure that in the movie, everybody would know who that guy was. Everybody would know. People from other towns would know. People from all over the nation would know his name and face. How are you just going to do a crime like that and just go to jail and nobody knows who you are? That's the only critique I have about American History X. It's a fine movie, but it's kind of dumb because in reality, everybody would talk about it. Hillary Clinton would have said something, and all the other groups would have said something, and how dare he do this, and you have to kill him, you have to why is he on the streets, and Oh, and when he got on the streets, the guy that did that curb stomp is free. Right now he's free. It doesn't matter if he's cleansed. He's free. He's free. No, to have that thing, for nobody to know is impossible. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. Everybody would know. And that's it. Sorry, I was focusing on my driving. All right, that's it. This is my Sense Good American. Hit me back if you don't agree with this one. But no, this one makes sense.